All right. Well, we will go ahead and get started. We're excited to have you guys here with us tonight, especially to talk about this topic of keeping healthy with essential oils. Like many of you, we celebrated Halloween yesterday, and so we have an overabundance of candy in our house. And I feel like every time I turn around, our little 6-year-old is like, "Can I have some Skittles? Can I have some candy?" And it's just one of those things that we get to deal with as parents and as teachers, being around these kids who've had a lot of sugar. And so supporting our immune system is going to be a big deal as we go into the next couple months, where we have Halloween, we've got Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas, and we know that viruses feed on sugar. And we know that when we're eating a lot of sugar and we're not eating great, our immune system is going to be suppressed. And we know too that 80% of our immune system is in our gut, in our digestive system. So it's going to be really important to be able to protect that and to boost our immune system as we go into this season, so that we can stay healthy. Because I'll tell you what, I think it's far easier to stay well than to be sick and try to get well. So that's what we're going to talk about. And then really quick, there's a little bit of review from last week. This is a picture of us. This is my husband and our family. We have 5 kids, and we just love the essential oils. It has completely changed our lives. We were introduced to the oils about 5.5 years ago now, and since that time we've been able to use them and play with them and do different things, and it's been really fun more than anything to hear the success stories of other people who have used the oils, and for them to be able to share their stories with us. And so it really is a powerful thing that we can share with other people, the benefit of the essential oils and how they can help their families too. So just as a brief overview again, what are essential oils? So essential oils are aromatic plant compounds that are found in plants. We got the flowers, the leaves, the bark, the roots, all these different parts of the plants and trees. And they are beautiful chemistry. They're complex chemistry. My husband always says that we are carbon-based life forms and plants are carbon-based life forms. And so when we use those plants in our bodies, they understand each other. There's a natural intelligence that happens. So the oils are going to be able to support our bodies. They're going to be able to encourage our bodies to do what they need to do. And so they work perfectly together. And when they do that, there's little to no side effect. Oftentimes we joke around that the side effect of essential oils is that they smell really good. Or like with something like peppermint, we're going to feel a tingling on the back of our neck. And so they are very safe and they are very effective. And it's the beauty of plants and that natural medicine. And then the next one too, it's kind of a review here. There we go. Aromatic, topical, internal. And I'm going to gear these 3 different ways to use the oil specifically for cold and flu season, and some different oils and stuff that we've used. So the first one is aromatic. So we can use the oils aromatically. This is simply just breathing the oils in the air and getting them into our bodies. So aromatically, during cold and flu season, one of our favorite oils that we use is a blend called On Guard. It's a protective blend. It helps to support the immune system. It has oils like cinnamon and clove, eucalyptus, rosemary, and wild orange. And those oils are going to be naturally very supportive. Kind of interesting, clove is in that one, and it's one of the highest oils in antioxidants that help the body to fight free radicals in the body. And so it is a fantastic oil to help support the body. Another oil that we love to use aromatically is a blend called Breathe. We'll talk about this a little bit more later. And this is a respiratory blend. And this is another one that we'll put this into a bedroom at night and diffuse. Or you can put it even in your hand and breathe it in. One of my favorite things to do, and I know Katie and Linda and Denise do this as well, but peppermint. Peppermint is another great respiratory oil. And so you can put a drop on your hand, you can breathe it in. You can actually do all 3 of these with the peppermint. Take a little bit, put it on your tongue, and then topically put it on the back of your neck or on your chest for a cold. And then internally, there are so many cool things that we can do with the oils internally, especially during cold and flu season. One of the things that we love to do is put the oils into soft gels, and those are just empty soft gel capsules that you can get at a health food store. doTERRA has them as well. One of them that we love, we call it the flu bomb, and I just want to make sure I get all these oils right. But this flu bomb, this is like when you want to get totally serious with a nasty cold, is you do lemon, On Guard, melaleuca, frankincense, and oregano. those 5 oils, and I'll usually just do 1 or 2 drops of each of those, put them in those little gel capsules, and then I'll swallow those. And it is a great way to support the body. So again, really quick, if you're writing down notes, lemon, and lemon is a great cleansing, cleaning oil. On Guard for your immune support. Melaleuca, again, this is an awesome antiviral, bacterial, antifungal. And then Melaleuca, and then the next one's frankincense, and it's just an all-around amazing oil for inflammation, and it amplifies all the other oils. And then oregano. Oregano is our powerhouse oil. It's really, really hot, but it is great. It's nature's best natural antibiotics. We love that one. So internally, we can do that. The other thing I love to do when I have a cold or I don't feel very good internally is use the oils as like a tea. So I will get some water really, really hot, and some of my favorites, again, On Guard. I love to use On Guard in water. Drink it as a tea. You can add a little bit of lemon or honey to it, and it works really, really well. I also like, if I have like a tummy something going on, I love ginger. Ginger and lemon are really great for digestive support. I like fennel as well. Peppermint, that's another good one. So there's several that you can do. And then I'm going to ask one of these ladies here in a little bit to share Dr. Stoyer, what he does. But then the third one, topically. So topically, we can use the oils for cold and flu season. One of our favorites, especially for congestion and colds topically, is the blend, again, called Breathe. And we'll put that one on the chest, or else doTERRA also has a Breathe stick. It's kind of like a Vicks vapor rub, and we love to rub that one on the chest. And you can add like a hot towel or something like that to help. Heat will act as a driver, and so you can add heat to that and put that on the chest, and it's awesome. And again, especially with kids, topically, doTERRA has a bunch of the oils that I've talked about in a touch. They're called doTERRA Touch, and what they have done is they've taken our most popular oils, they've put them into roller bottles that have already been diluted, and I love to use this on my kids, and I love to use it on the bottom of their feet. So the On Guard, the oregano, the Melaleuca, these are all oils that you can put on the bottom of the feet to help support our kids topically. I'm going to jump to our next one here, and then Lifelong Vitality. We talked about this a little bit last week, but again, I just want to emphasize how important it is that we have good nutrition and that we're taking a high quality supplement every day to support our bodies, because as we do that, our body's going to have what it needs to be able to combat all the yucky stuff that we encounter, whether that's at schools, the grocery store, the library, our workspace, wherever we are. It's going to help our bodies to be able to support. So we have the Alpha CRS. This is the Cellular Vitality Complex. This is the one that's going to give you energy. This is the one that's going to give you cellular health. It's going to help also with inflammation, which is what we all want, right? And then you have the Microplex MVP, and this is the food nutrient. It's food-based vitamins and minerals. And what I love is it is food-based. So when you take these supplements, the body's going to be able to use them. And then you've got the Z Omega. This is their healthy fats that also have 9 essential oils in them. And so this is a really great powerhouse combo to help support your body, to keep it well, to have the energy that you need to combat what's going on out in the world. So we are going to jump into now. I've got 2 different product lines that I'm going to specific focus on. And then I'm going to ask for a couple of stories and experiences and talk about some different things that you can do in addition to these different product lines to help support you and your family. So the first one, this is On Guard. So I've talked about On Guard a little bit already, but this is their protective blend, and it is such a great product line that they've created a lot of products around it. So they've got the On Guard essential oil. I don't know if I can use my little arrow, but there's my little arrow. There's the On Guard. That's the oil, which you can use on your feet. Here's some other ideas, and Linda and Katie and Denise, if you guys want to jump in on some ideas as well, feel free to unmute yourself. But something that's simple to do that's really effective is you can buy those little glass spray bottles, put some On Guard with a little bit of water in there, and let that be your natural hand sanitizer. Instead of going for that yucky stuff that has known to have neurotoxins in it, just put some On Guard in that spray bottle and use that as your natural hand sanitizer. It's going to help support your body, your immune system, without hurting it and leaving those chemical residue. The other product that I totally love for cold and flu season is their On Guard throat drops. These are just little throat drops. It's exactly what they are. And I love to use those when I feel like I might be having something going on. If I have like an itch in my throat, or something scratchy, I love to use those. And then right down here at the very bottom, these are their On Guard beadlets. And these are just little, they look like little BBs, and they have On Guard in them. And this is something that I'll like pop in my mouth and then I'll swallow and it'll coat my throat. And that's really great for sore throats. I love it too when I'm flying or traveling, and it's just a quick little thing that I can do to help get my body some On Guard. Then they've also got some cleaning supplies. You can use the On Guard cleaner. They've got a hand pump, which is a hand soap, which I absolutely love. Love, love, love. It's great for degreasing, and I just love it. It's wonderful. And then they've got their toothpaste, which is probably, it's definitely in my top 5 products that doTERRA has. I can't live without the On Guard toothpaste. And then in the bottom right here, the other product that I use quite often and we use a lot in our family is the On Guard Plus. And the On Guard Plus is a soft gel where they have added the On Guard, oregano, black pepper, and Melissa. So this is a really nice powerhouse, kind of like that flu bomb, but this is really quick and very convenient. So if you feel like you don't have time to fill little soft gels with that other recipe that I recommended, the On Guard Plus is fantastic. Is there anything else you ladies would like to add about the On Guard or how you use it or experiences you've had?
I do what you do with the spray bottle, and just a little glass spray bottle with like 10 to 15 drops of On Guard and water is the simplest hand sanitizer recipe out there. You can get fancy and add aloe vera gel, and that makes it nice for your hands, but just a spray bottle of water and On Guard. And when my son gets in the car after school, he knows, he holds out his hands and I spray him. And I also keep a little cotton towel in the car too. So anyway, I spray him and then he wipes it off. I think there's a little, it's good to also use friction, you know, so getting it on his hands and then rubbing it on that towel. I do it every single time he gets in the car.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. It's nice knowing that we have something, you know, before is like, oh, you know, yay, you're home, go wash your hands. You know, and then learning what we do know now about, you know, just different soap and stuff. It's like, oh, it's just nice to know that we have that. Something that's not on this picture, just to point out with the On Guard, is having a diffuser. On Guard in a diffuser is a simple, easy way to get the oil into your home, into the air. And I remember listening to Emily Wright. She's one of the owners of doTERRA. And something that she shared that really stayed with me, and I don't know why, but this little tidbit stayed with me. But she talked about how when you breathe it in, how all that essential oil lines that whole nasal lining and all the way down your throat. And so as you're out and about and you're even breathing stuff in, you've got that oil kind of lining that whole nasal cavity to protect you from all that stuff. And I thought that was so fascinating. So just taking time to just breathe that in and get that into your body. Anyways, pretty cool. Anybody else want to add anything about On Guard?
I will.
Okay. Hey, Linda.
So a couple things. One, I'm looking at the products here. So I know Jeff always tells me in August to make sure to order 2 bags of the On Guard throat drops, because when he starts teaching at the end of August, when school starts, you know, his throat gets hoarse, and so he loves those for school. That was kind of my gateway thing at school. You know, I was handing those out like crazy because everybody's sick at school. It's a germ fest. The other thing, I love the On Guard Plus, and I keep them. I actually save my beadlet bottles when they're empty, and I pop the little plastic lid off of them and put about 4 to 6 of the On Guard Plus in the little beadlet bottle, so I can keep it in my purse, and I don't have this big bottle, you know, in my purse. So it's just an easy way to carry it.
That's awesome. That is such a good idea. And I remember you tell me another idea that I thought was such a good idea. So the On Guard throat drops for kids, they're kind of big and it's almost too much for younger kids. And so what Linda would do is break them into smaller pieces.
Right. So I just take them and I keep them in the wrapper, and I take the back of a spoon and I smack it to kind of crack it. And then Jordan would just use the, you know, little pieces at a time. So
cool.
Works great.
That's awesome. Thank you. I'm going to jump
something.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Denise.
I was just going to add, of course, all those previous things that everybody else said, but also the On Guard beadlets, because Brianna doesn't like to swallow pills as much. So I'll make sure that she uses these every morning. And then, of course, the roller bottle. I'll put that on her feet every night and every morning. And then the last one is, and I had a nurse friend tell me this, but also with the On Guard Plus tablets, I've broken them before and just rubbed them up and down her spine.
Oh, yeah.
She won't take them.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question. When you talk about making the sanitizer, like how much water to how many drops do you put in to make that? Like what is usually the ratio? Even the diffuser, like you fill the water up to the red line, but then do you put 1 drop in or 2 drops in, or like how do you know how much to use?
So with the diffuser, I usually put 3 to 5 drops in my,
3 to
like
5.
when I'm in my kitchen or my bedroom. That's usually about what I will do, is something like that. And then with the On Guard in the spray bottle, you could do, I think Katie was saying like she'll do about 10 drops. So if you have what are those 2-ounce bottles or even a 4-ounce bottle, yeah, probably put about 10 drops. But what's interesting about this is there's a study, and I think it's on the learning page, but I know doTERRA shared it too, but they did a whole study with Petri dishes and On Guard, and they put 1 drop for like 36 or 32 or 30.
32 ounces, yeah.
32 ounces, 1 drop, and it was effective. And so,
Oh, really?
yes, so you could really do 1 drop, but there's just something in me mentally that goes, okay, if 1 is good, I'm going to add a little bit more. So you could do 1 drop and it would be just as effective. I just like it maybe a little bit stronger, even though according to the studies, more isn't necessarily as effective, more effective.
But even if you don't have a spray bottle,
Yeah.
like I carry my oils around with me in this oil bag, and then so sometimes I can't find that spray bottle, so I'll just put On Guard directly in my hands and just kind of run it over my hands. And I think that so that's pretty strong right there, full strength, but it's still gentle, and that's it's kind of a good backup. So use your intuition on that one, like how much to use. Tiffany said in her diffuser she uses 3 to 5 drops. I'm more of like a 10 to 15 drop girl. So really it's just try it and see, roll with it.
Yeah. They're very forgiving.
So Kelly, when all the kids are sick at school, I'll just take my On Guard out, like Kate said, and I just put a drop on my hand, rub my hand, and then do what I have to do and get out of that school as fast as I can.
That's awesome. Oh, so good. I'm going to drop to this is the next product line that doTERRA has. It's their Breathe, and they have the Breathe essential oil. They also have the Breathe Touch, which is not in this picture. And then they have the Breathe. It's hard to see in this picture, but it's a cool picture. The Vapor Stick, and it really is like a vapor stick that you just roll up, twist up, and then you can rub it on, kind of like a Vicks Vapor Rub, really. And then they also have the On Guard the Breathe Respiratory Drops, and they taste more like the Breathe. Those ones are my husband's favorite. He usually will grab those before he goes for the On Guard ones. But Breathe is a great respiratory oil, and so we love to use this one for congestion, colds, kind of the ruddy nose, stuffiness, that kind of stuff. One of the things that we like to do that's kind of a fun addition that we've had good results is adding the Breathe with lime. And I don't know why lime is so great, except I know, again, like all the citrus oils, it's very cleansing and very clean. But we love the Breathe and lime together. In a diffuser, it smells amazing. Putting that on the chest, it's amazing. We've had people who have respiratory issues like asthma who really love doing the Breathe and lime together. And so that's a great combo. We also, it's so fun when you go around and teach classes. I'll hear people say all the time, oh, I remember when I was a kid, my mom would put Vicks on my feet and then put the socks on. It's the same thing, except we don't have the petroleum that's in the Vicks. It's just all essential oils. So you can put the Breathe on the bottom of your feet and then put your socks on and get similar, if not better, results from that. So Breathe, do you guys ladies have any stories about Breathe or how you use it to help support that?
So I use it every single night. This was my gateway oil. It's what started this whole thing. And so I actually use it probably in a little bit more unconventional way. My sinuses are really icky at night, and I put a little drop on a Q-tip and I actually swab inside my nostrils, which I know doTERRA doesn't necessarily suggest, but it works for me, and I sleep much better after I do that. So when I put it right here on under my nose, it's just too alerting, the peppermint in it. It just kind of keeps me awake. So there's something different from a sensation standpoint here versus inside. But I love to breathe.
That's awesome. So I'm going to just kind of open this up because these are like the On Guard and the Breathe. Those are kind of our first go-tos. And it seems like as we begin to use the oils more and as we kind of start playing with them, there's a lot of oils that we can use in addition to these. So I'd like to kind of talk about some different oils. In fact, one of them that and Katie could probably talk more about this oil than I can, but I've been hearing so many awesome stories about arbor vitae. It's kind of a wood oil that I have a friend who used, and she said it's awesome for snot. That's how she described it. It is awesome for snot. So, arbor vitae might be one that you'll add to a diffuser or put along the nose. Or Katie, do you have some ways that you use that one for cold and respiratory support?
Yes. And it's one of my very favorites. My friends call it Home Depot.
Yep.
So we put this to the test. One of the things when I was new with oils, I wanted to really give them a go with seasonal allergies. And mine are worst in the spring. And right around the end of May, beginning of June, it's pretty bad. And that I was using lemon, lavender, peppermint, which is kind of like the holy trinity of seasonal threats oils. It's got like the allergy oils. And they were working okay, maybe through May. And then that last week, I wasn't doing so well. So I was at an oil event. Pretty sure there were speakers, and I was sneezing so much that people couldn't hear. And so people were handing me arbor vitae. You said arbor vitae, same, tomato.
Yep.
But so they passed this back to me and just whispered, put this on the bottoms of your feet, big toe, stripe down the center of your nose. And it works amazing. I tried it with my mother, who has a really similar allergy response to pollen. She's super skeptical, and even if she thinks the oils smell nice, she's got to definitely see it to believe it. And arbor vitae, she's also very shy, and she spoke up at a class last summer to say, I cannot believe how well this works. And she just had to trust me, like, sit down, give me your feet, put it on your nose. And you could hear it in her voice. So it works amazing for that. And that was my allergy experience, but I think that it would work almost just as well for congestion with a cold.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Another tip that I've heard, and I've had maybe Linda or Denise, if you guys want to share this, Dr. Stoyer, he is a teeth doctor, but he does like
Oral surgeon.
Thank you, oral surgeon. And he has an awesome technique that I always love to share with people that is great for cold and flu. Linda, do you want to share with us what that is and what he does?
I'm trying to remember what it is.
Okay. So I'll get you started. So what he does is he will get a mug of hot water.
Oh, that's right. And he puts his oils in the water and drapes something over the top of his head and just inhales the steam.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant, because that's another one of those things I remember as a kid my mom doing, is boiling water and doing something, and we just kind of get that hot water to help with the respiratory support. The oils that he adds to that are On Guard, oregano, peppermint, melaleuca, and lemon. Again, it's kind of your flu bomb. So instead of taking it internally, you can put it in the water. And I do want to just kind of throw a caution out there. Oregano is really hot. The peppermint can be really strong. And so start out really gently. with yourself, breathing it in, because it can be really, really strong.
Mhm.
Another little trick that I love to share with people with breathe, especially when they've got stuff in their lungs. You could do this with breathe. You could do this with eucalyptus. You could do it with peppermint. Is like I'll put a drop on my hand, and then I'll make my hand into a fist, and then I will just suck it in through my mouth. Just breathe in, and you can feel those oils get into your lungs, and it's
People call it huffing.
yeah,
Yeah.
healthy huffing.
Healthy huffing.
Hey, Tiffany,
Yes.
demonstrate it. Take this picture down and demonstrate it.
Oh, okay. Can you, let's see, let me do stop share. Ooh, you guys are getting me technical. Okay, so like I'll put my hand out, and then you put your hand, you like make a fist out of your other hand, and then you just put it to your mouth, and you just breathe it in. And you breathe it in, and you can feel it all up into your neck. And then if you want to, close your mouth, and then you can breathe it through your nose, like release it through your nose, and then it opens everything up. It is pretty amazing. Okay, let's see.
I've got a couple things to add if you want.
Yes.
So this is kind of the unconventional way to use Digest Zen.
Yes.
It's great for sinus pressure. And so what you would do is take a drop and put it across your forehead, under your cheekbones, and kind of down along the sides under your eustachian tubes right here. And it works great to open up your sinuses. And the other thing that is not for the faint of heart is to take oregano and lemon if you have a sore throat that you feel like's coming on. And I take 2 drops of each and put it in, just about maybe a quarter or half a cup of water. And I actually keep my coconut oil very close by when I'm doing this, but I take a sip, I gargle with it, and I actually swallow it, and then I keep on gargling until I have no liquid left. And then if my mouth is hot from the oregano, I take a spoonful of the hard coconut oil and I just take that, and it gets rid of all that hotness. So, little
awesome.
tips.
Yes, oregano is not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not.
Hot oil. Oh, very good. There's a couple of other oils too. They're kind of unsung heroes that I like to use as well. Black pepper is one of them. Black pepper is one that you can add for respiratory support with your breathe on the chest. Again, it might be a little bit warm, so be sure to use a carrier oil with that one. And then thyme. So thyme it's kind of like a sister to oregano. It's just not quite as hot and quite as strong, but it's also really great to help support the body for cold and flu stuff. Melaleuca is another one. I have a gal who, whenever she has a sore throat, she'll get the Melaleuca touch and just rub that on her throat. And she's had great results with that one. Is there anything else, Linda or Katie?
I have one.
Any other? Yes.
I have one, Tiffany.
All right, let's hear it.
Also, a lot of times when I've had a cold, my ears will really bother me. And I'll use the Digestin, as Linda was saying, but also basil. I'll add basil to it.
Yes.
I think we use the basil. It's really great for the ears.
Oh, thank you for remembering basil. That's another one of those unsung heroes that really is great for ears. I remember, and in fact, one of the things that really got me into essential oils and thinking about using them was ear infections. When my kids were little and they had ear infections, I remember thinking there's got to be a better way than antibiotics. There's got to be something else that I can do to support these kids otherwise. And so that's actually how I kind of got started. And lavender and Melaleuca were my first ones to start, but now basil. Basil is definitely one that I love to use for that ear congestion.
So here's another unsung hero, cardamom. And I know that's one of Denise's favorites. Yeah. So I used it the other night because I felt like I was getting a little stuffy, but I didn't want to use breathe because of the peppermint, because I wanted to sleep. So I put cardamom in my diffuser, and so I felt like I got the same respiratory effects without the alerting effect of the peppermint.
Oh, fantastic. Yep, cardamom. That's another great one. Mm-hmm. Very good. So know that you have a lot of options and choices. And when you're in, again, it's like with cold and flu, as soon as you feel like you're going to get sick or you feel like you've got something going on, start using the oils, and don't be afraid to use them every hour to help support your body through it. Because it seems like, and like even from my own experience, it's like if I don't get it at the beginning and I get into this full-fledged cold, it's a little bit harder to get out of, and it takes a little bit more time. But what I have seen over and over again is that as we use the oils regularly, every hour or so, even every half hour if you want to, that our cold time is shorter. Instead of being sick for a week, it's a couple of days. Instead of being a 3 or 4 day thing, we can get it overnight. And so I've seen that over and over again as we are consistent and regular with the oils, and even mixing them up. Try a lot of different things to help support your body through it, and then find out what you love and what works for you. We joke around all the time about if you don't find an oil that's maybe doing what you're hoping that it will do, to keep dating. Try another oil. And I promise that as you use them and are consistent with them, you'll get the results that you want, and you'll be giving your body what it needs to help support it through all of that yucky stuff. So I'm going to just kind of go through these last slides quickly. We talked about them a little bit last week, but because we're recording, I want to get this on here. So the next slide is about the best way. There we go. What is the best way to get your own essential oils? And so when we got started, we started with a kit from doTERRA. And what I love about that is when you pick a kit, I'm going to go ahead and jump to this next picture, you are getting additional savings, and you're getting an awesome collection of oils that you can start using in your family and start incorporating into your lifestyle, and start putting in your bathrooms and in your kitchen and in your car. And anyways, these are a great way to get started, is picking one of these kits. I know my favorite is the Home Essentials. It's on the far right here, and it's got 10 of the most popular oils, several of them, probably all of them that we've talked about tonight, and it comes with the diffuser, and this is a great way to get started using the essential oils, is to get your kit, get your oils, and start putting them to use. I'm excited because doTERRA, I don't have the updated picture because I couldn't find it, but doTERRA has extended their promotion of the free lifelong vitality. So anybody who sets up their wholesale membership in in November, and then does another 100 PV product volume LRP next month, they can get the lifelong vitality for free. And if I remember correctly, they have till November 15th to do that. So we've got 2 more weeks to take advantage of this promotion if this is something that you want to do, or if you have somebody in your life who could really benefit from the essential oils, and specifically getting the lifelong vitality for free, which is awesome. I think it's like $100 retail value, maybe even more than that. But anyways, it's a great product to have, and it's a great product to be able to share with other people. And what I love is when you set up your membership with doTERRA, you get a kit. You also are part of an amazing group of people, and you have a community that's here to support you and to answer your questions. We have a learning community Facebook page where we share ideas and tips and things that are going on. And we also have opportunities to meet locally in our groups, and to travel, and to do some really fun things together. And so know that when you join this amazing doTERRA community, that you have a group of people here who are here to help you to be successful in what you're doing with the essential oils. And then my last picture, so this is what we're going to be doing next week, essential oils and emotions. That is voting day. And I thought, what more perfect topic to have on voting day than to talk about our emotions and how to keep some things maybe under control as we are voting this year. So anyways, and I love this picture because I think it illustrates so well our emotions. There are a lot of different colors, and they blend and they flow. And so it's nice to know that we have tools at our fingertips that we can use to help support us through those emotions, and to help support us through life. And to know that we have things that can not only help us physically, but also emotionally. So with that, are there any questions? Maybe I will stop the recording here.